We've heard a lot about how schools will reopen during the coronavirus pandemic, but we haven't heard a lot about the place many kids go before they ever enter the classroom.
Tonight, Chris Jones in the Beyond the Books unit taking a look at another place where social distancing is pretty tough, the school bus.
They're thinking that we're probably going to have a total meltdown at some point.
This school bus driver, who did not want to be identified out of fear of losing his job, says districts across the state are ill-prepared to bus thousands of kids to school each day and keep those kids and the drivers safe.
The district has not put enough effort into protecting the staff, primarily the drivers, and the drivers cannot social distance.
Beyond the Books, through a government records request, demanded the busing plans for every district in the state. None of them, we found, can promise children will be spaced 6 feet apart as suggested by the CDC. The Granite School District openly admits, quote, social distancing will not be possible on most routes. During normal times, a bus like this can hold about 80 students. That's 3 students per seat. Even if they're able to cut that in half to 40, you're still talking about most of these seats having 2 students per seat. That is not social distancing. A lot of people's opinions, an incubator for the spread of the disease.
Yeah, well, you know, when you have to be, don't you? That's what our responsibility is to mitigate as often as possible.
Superintendent John Dodds with Garfield Schools says his district has protocols in place to protect kids. Beyond the Books has found most districts are following the same plan, including assigned seats for students, hand sanitizers on bus, masks for children and drivers, and frequent cleaning of seats, floors, handrails after every single route. That could add as much as 2 hours to each shift. More work for Garfield County's already burdened drivers. They're going to be working a lot more hours, and I would assume you're not going to be paying them more.
In our district, it's also unique in that a lot of times our bus drivers have multiple duties. They can be serving lunch, they could be doing custodial work.
I'm not interested in volunteering to catch this virus.
This driver says COVID-19 and the plans around it will drive he and his colleagues to a breaking point. Half the drivers in his district, he says, are retired and fear getting sick and dying. I mean, what are your concerns for your colleagues who are 50, 60, 70 years old?
Most of the bus drivers are 60 or older, but there's a number of them that have at-risk issues themselves.
Do you anticipate there might be a walkout of drivers?
If things go badly for them, then they probably will walk away from it.
Do you have a concern that bus drivers are going to say, you know what, I'm done, and just walk on some level?
Yeah, we hope not. Our bus drivers are rock stars.
But drivers at $16 an hour on average are not paid like rock stars. And now they find themselves shouldering the burden of keeping kids safe. And the drivers fear the whole system could come crashing down.
You know, we might see cases, numbers rising, teachers getting sick, and drivers. And all of a sudden, no, it's never mind, we need to shut back down again.
Our Beyond the Books team wants you to know that you can reach them by calling the number on your screen, or you can visit KUTV.com.